all kinds of ribbons, been through it. And his dad,
the Great Lakes were an advanced
sort of
training
said,
site. So by the time the
Jim,
pilots arrived here,
if you're smart,
they were already
you'll get the hell out
the
of
crowd.
this town.
Yeah, yeah.
And Jim thought,
As a kid,
well,
I used to view
I've got the
planes
GI
taking
Bill.
off and landing and
I understand that the University of Missouri has the best
So I think that's what actually
reporting
trying to get into the aviation field.
system.
World War
Yeah.
II
So
started.
you could go down to the University of Missouri and say, I want to become a reporter, and go through A, B,
Training
C,
for
C, all this
Tuskegee
stuff.
pilots on the home front
So he
was
said,
difficult
I get
and dangerous.
on the,
There's this
I think it
thing
was a
saying,
bus.
every time you get in that cockpit, you've always got it in the
Was it a
back
bus
of
or
your
a
mind, the
train?
danger. that
And he
you're-
went down to Missouri?
And he
The
gets
coastline
down
here in
there,
Great Lakes was just like the
and he-
coastline in France.
I think he went by the train to someplace else. And he gets on the train that was going to Missouri, and he said, I don't know where the university is. Where's the university? And they,
So they
trained
trained here in P3.
or the bus he was on, well,
They
get
would take
in,
off
we'll,
themselves
we
We'll
stop
take-
there.
more than
Yeah.
50 feet above
So he said,
trees,
I didn't know
hills,
that
mountains,
University of
all the way to
Missouri from
Muskegon,
Cake
turn
of
around
Soap.
and come back just
But
to
I get in and I
the
go,
combat.
and he goes through the, everything, 4 years,
Wow.
and he gets a job.
At that time,
I think his first
such
job
feat
was on
would
the
have been a buzz
Des Moines
with wartime
Register.
activity.
Mm-hmm.
The 336
That's where
had moved from Tuskegee, Alabama to
Ding
Michigan.
Darling
Oh,
was
yeah,
the
the
political cartoonist
Volunteered to join
for the Des
war
Moines Register.
the one who became the namesake for the wildlife
started-
refuge?
yeah.
Ah.
He drew the goose that's the
Yeah.
symbol. He won the first, he did the first duck stamp,
Yeah.
and he was a national figure for environmental control and
He had gone
everything.
through the
And
primary
Jim
training,
gets
basic
on that.
training, the advanced training, and he was
Gets
in combat
married.
training here at
Yeah.
Selfridge Air National Guard Base.
He
It's important to remember how
moves
young
up.
these men and women were when they
I
were
think
called
his
into
next
service.
job, I think he
Not
went
these
directly
missions.
from the Register to the Courier
Each
Journal.
time you go out,
Yeah,
At the
from
time,
your life,
the
your
Courier
training,
Journal was one of the best newspapers in the United States.
Yes.
I mean, it's toilet paper now, but it was when the Binghams owned it, it was good.
Yes.
because they not only wanted to win these military battles, but they also
Hugh
wanted
Haney
to
was the
really
political cartoonist. They had,
the Army's war.
I
It
don't
isn't
know,
the Navy's war.
they often won the Pulitzer Prize with their writing.
Wow. Yeah.
Jim got
But
to
at the time, the
personally
military
interview
didn't see all
Truman
Americans
twice.
as fit
Wow.
to serve equally.
I didn't know that. He met.
Yeah.
He interviewed him
The
twice.
lobbying of
One-
civil
and then
rights
one time he
activists
went out
to
when-
force
remember,
Congress
you
to
probably
alter
don't
the Selective
know it, but
Service Act
when
of
Truman
1940.
finished his presidency,
Mm-hmm.
he took a damn train home,
non-discrimination
get on, and
provisions
then
were written into
got a
it.
taxi.
Previous protests.
said, take me home.
Americans can't be
And,
excluded.
He carried his own suitcase. I mean, now if you're the president,
Oh yeah. You don't.
you got a special train car or airplane, and they meet you where you're going to be with.
He took the
black-
train and got a taxi after he was done being president.
all the time.
That's how
he
it
was out
should
of the
work.
presidency. He lived in the same house he was
Born in.
inhabited before the war. He just lived like he was
A normal guy.
a normal guy back with it. Yep.
He had done his part.
And Jim was in on a lot of this. He got to the Courier Journal, and he became the editor of a section like, I don't think it was fashion,
Leaders
Mm.
just
but it was
believed that
something
Americans
like
had
that.
Intelligence, courage, bravery,
And-
to be good soldiers. And they
Lady comes in one day to be interviewed.
Mm-hmm.
According to the studies, the Negro was barely qualified. for
Jim
combat.
interviewed her,
Was by nature
divorced his
subservient,
wife,
Yeah.
mentally inferior,
married her.
and
Okay.
believed in himself.
Wasn't she married at the time too, or no?
No, she wasn't.
Was
She wasn't.
susceptible to crowd
And
psychology, could not control himself in the face of danger.
They bought Weight
Did not have the
Watchers.
initiative,
Yeah, yeah.
courage,
They owned Weight
resourcefulness,
Watchers
and
for
That's what he
Kentucky,
had to put up with.
Southern
Indiana.
Ohio. They maybe had West Virginia, but that's where they made their
Their
money.
money, yeah.
And they made lots of money.
Took the test, did very well.
And they gave so much
And
to
after
the
I had hassled them,
Home of the
about
Innocents,
not
right?
being
Oh yeah, they still
I was
write to me
informed
because
by the
when Jim died,
that
I
Yeah.
would be called to
gave,
the Army Air Corps because there were no
for me, a pretty good amount of money
Yeah.
to Home of the Innocents in honor of
Oh,
Jim.
that's lovely, Papa.
I
But
get
the Black
2
activist
letters
movement
a year
continued
from them
its
Yeah,
political
to thank
assault
you.
on Washington,
asking for
demanding
money. They seem to be doing a great job.
Yes, they're good.
And what black
So
activists
Jim
are
would
demanding are all things related
call
to-
me over.
They want access to defense industry jobs.
We were always
They want
over there
access to
because
the
his wife,
things like
they were in Weight Watchers, remember?
the White House,
And she
other
became grossly
officials just
overweight.
don't know anymore.
She couldn't even get out of bed by herself.
Roosevelt
And she
was
became
running for a
ill.
third term.
Uh,
The Negro press
she lived
and
in
the NAACP,
part of it
they were on the
house.
back
Jim lived in the other part,
Something
at his
Yeah.
office, and they ate together. He'd go in and eat by her bed, but literally.
She was
she
kind
was
of
sort of
bedbound,
bedridden.
yeah.
And
And Roosevelt figured that if he started
he
a
would
fire
call me
squad,
over,
he'd
and
get
we'll
the
tell
black
war stories.
which he did,
Mm-hmm.
and he
And
won.
except he had war stories to tell.
Our
I
politics
didn't.
worked out for us.
Yes, you do, Papa. You certainly
but he-
do.
He was really great.
In
He
January
called me.
1941,
He was well in his
the War
90s.
Department established the
And I
99th
was-
Pursuit Squadron,
In your 80s?
based
No,
out
I
of
was only a few
Tuskegee,
years
Alabama.
younger than he was.
Oh,
He
I
was
thought maybe
maybe
10.
It was the first segregated unit.
5 years older than I was. I think he called me over. He was, I think, 98.
Mhm.
He was sitting in his easy chair with TV on. They had 2 easy chairs,
Mhm.
one for her and one for him. And it was,
They
you know,
were
you
trained
could
to
do
be
it
successful
like
firefighters,
that.
but
Yeah.
also trained to
Except
like,
it was
prove to the
twice
military
this size. It
establishment
was
that
like the one I
black
have
men
in
can do
there.
this work.
Yeah.
And
And that's exactly what
I
Fritz
had
movie was
painted-
doing as he advanced through the program.
at his request
An airman would
to
have
give to
started out
his wife,
at Tuskegee,
I
and then
painted
moved to another base.
elephant stuff.
Specifically
And what did I give
focused
him?
on combat
One of
training.
my big
And
paintings
that's why
from
they came to
Africa.
Selfridge.
He called me over.
They were learning how
I think
to
it was
come
Wednesday.
from over the horizon on the water to
His
strafe or destroy radar
son
towers or installation along the
and
coast.
his son's kids were there. And he asked me to show
Memorial
the
of April
grandchildren
1944.
how to
Frank Moody
draw an
was
elephant.
flying one of the most
Mhm.
sophisticated
And
fighter aircraft.
I had taken my pad over. He asked me to bring it. Gave them some papers and showed them how to draw an elephant and everything. We had a nice little visit and I left. He died Friday.
Really?
Yeah. It's the last I'd seen him.
You were good friends.
Well, he gave a lot of money to Home of the Innocents. He financed that statue of Pee Wee Reese down in front of the stadium.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Pee Wee Reese lived here.
Yeah. I remember that. He lived
I
in
got
the
in the
Willow.
elevator one day and I was working out every day. And Pee Wee Reese was he was probably the most prominent shortstop up to that time for the Yankees.
Yeah.
And this little
Was
guy
he
got
black?
on.
He was the first. No,
He
no.
was from Louisville.
But was he black? No.
No, Jackie Robinson.
Jackie
that's it.
Robinson. Oh, I
Was the
feel
first
terrible.
black
I'm thinking of
ball
Jackie
player.
Robinson. And I knew that was wrong. I knew what my brain was
That
wrong.
Jackie Robinson.
Pee Wee Reese was the shortstop.
But I got on the elevator to go work down. I forgot what floor they lived on. Let's say it was 12 or 9 or something. The elevators. I was in the freight elevator because it goes to the basement. This little fella steps in. I looked at him and I stuck out my hand. I said, "I'm Fritz Hilton. We haven't met." And he said, "I'm Pee Wee Reed." And I said, "Well, yeah, I know who you are."
Nice to meet you.
Like that. He was a heck of a nice guy. We worked out together for quite a bit.
That's so nice.
And he died. He died fairly young.
Did he live here for a long time or just a few years?
I can't tell you how long he lived here. I'd say 4 or 5 years
Yeah.
at least. Then he died and his widow left and went someplace. But Jim, and that may be why he came here.
Mm-hmm.
He was from Louisville. And at that time, this was sort of the first big condo
Mm-hmm.
that was sort of this. If you're going to be in a condo in Louisville, this is where you want to be.
It's wonderful.
And
Yeah.
so he and his wife set up some foundation. I don't know if you ran into it in your work in eastern Kentucky to help people who were, as you know, in eastern Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
You're working for a miner or you get out of a
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
You're living on $12 a month or something.
Yeah.
And they set up, I think most of it was done through a scholarship in one of the colleges.
I wonder if it was with Berea or EKU maybe.
I don't think it was Berea. It may have been.
That's really
But
neat.
anyhow, that was Jim. And
He was so much fun. I think I have a recording of the two of you and he was talking about being a fighter pilot. But who was a fighter? The gunner.